these are
strong.
These are nice.
Really nice.
Maybe it'll open up my damn.
Yeah.
Marci. I'm going to try to be very nice. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Not really. But I'm going to try to be very nice. Who wrote him? I can't remember who wrote him now. Who sent all those grievances, but they weren't grievances.
No.
Damn it, they're in my purse. Oh well.
You have time to get to it.
Do y'all hear that vibrating?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's something like...
This one? No.
No, it's not the fan.
I hear it, yeah.
Don't forget to mute your phone. In case... There's no...
No. She's silent. He's a smooth baby.
Cake.
Listeners should be aware that the following program contains language and audio images which may be found disturbing and may not be suitable for your snotty-nosed little brat who probably cusses like a sailor behind your back anyway. Parental discretion is advised.
Once more, a man with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This sings my love. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know.
There, now my microphone is on.
Yes.
All right, welcome to the Prison Show. Tonight is Friday, December the 15th, or should I say the Dave and Dani Comedy Hour. Should I say that? I dare say I might. I just did. No, I didn't.
Oh.
Now I got difficulties. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Trust me.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
The board has gremlins.
All right. David has a good show lined up for us tonight, and we have Linda in the house, David in the house, as you heard. We have Marcus. We have moi, and we have Manuela in the house, and she just gave me kisses. Hang on.
Her mic's on if she wants to make sure everybody else can hear the kisses.
Yeah, give a kiss. Give a kiss. Yeah, you see, we are informative. We give kisses. We are all about that, right?
On the Dani and Dave Comedy Hour.
That's right. Lord have mercy. Okay. So much. But anyway, like I said, David's got a good show lined up for us. We have Mary Sue Molnar. Whoop, hitting the mic. Executive Director at Texas Voices for Reason and Justice. And Dr. Terri LeClercq, retired English professor, queen of the prison show book club, and author of Prison Grievances, When to Write, How to Write, as well as at least 4 other books. Y'all need to listen up to her. She knows how to write a grievance. Get her book. Marci Marie is also here. Social media influencer and community outreach coordinator for Lioness Justice Impacted Women's Alliances. And we also have Alli Sullivan with Death Penalty Action. I guess Abe's not able to be here this evening. So, without further ado, Mary on line 1. Mary Sue.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I am doing okay, getting over a bout with the flu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hope you're feeling better really soon. I heard this year's flu is nothing to sneeze at, so they say.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I had COVID a few weeks ago, and that was, not bad. And then I came down with the flu. It's like, okay, let's hope that I'm through with all of this for the rest of the holidays. Speaking of holidays, we sent out our inmate greeting cards to the people that are incarcerated on our mailing list, and we just don't know if anybody's received them. I don't know any news on the mailroom, and if they're slow or booked or behind.
Well,
do you guys know anything?
We know a lot. In fact, we had a few people attend the board meeting today, and at the board, at the board meeting, TDCJ, the board of TDCJ, who voted to implement that system, they are not pleased with it. I dare say, neither are we.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, our members are asking, do you think that the guys have received my card yet? And I said, I don't know. Last I heard, they were a little backed up. So if you guys get a card after the holidays, just know that we did send them early, hoping that they make it that way. And so our organization, Texas Voices, we work on laws and policies related to the sex offense issue. And that includes the registry, registration, residency restrictions, and all of the different things that go along with being a registered citizen. So that's what our group does, and that is the only thing. We're specific to that. I myself have a son who is on the registry. He served 7.5 years in TDCJ. So we don't work on a whole lot of inside prison issues. Those mostly go to the groups that do work on that, which is, like TIFA and groups like that. We work more on when you get out, like the registry and the different obstacles that you face trying to get a job, trying to find a place to live as a registered citizen, trying to find a way to get the laws more to a common sense type of place than where they are right now, because right now they're just based on fear and hysteria, and a lot of the rules and restrictions don't make any sense. So that's what we do. We advocate for more common sense laws and policies, and it really keeps us busy, I got to tell you.
I imagine it does. Do you get a lot of feedback from families of SOs?
We do. So we've got close to 700 people on our email list. I would say about half of them are people who are registered, and the other half are family members. And some of those family members have an incarcerated loved one, and some don't. So if you are incarcerated and listening to the show tonight, if you have family out there, tell them to call us. We have a really good group. We have a great email list. It's all confidential. I send out emails all the time. Everybody on our list always knows what's going on, what we're doing, what we're up to, any changes that are, in the process, or things that we're trying to get done, things they can do to help. And we're a nonprofit. We're all volunteers, so we have no membership fee. It's just if you're interested or you have a family member that wants to get involved, and they can find us on our website, which is texasvoices.org. They can contact us through there, and it's really good. I mean, it's really good for family to have a safe place to go. Like tomorrow night, we have our Austin group Christmas party. So our Austin members will all get together, and it's really nice because we all feel very comfortable around each other because everyone's in the same boat. So we have a lot of family members, and your family members are definitely welcome to give us a call.
Well, I'd also like to remind people that soon you'll be working on the next 2025 session, correct?
Yes, we're already looking at the candidates. The filing deadline was, 2 or 3 days ago, so we're looking at the candidates. We're seeing who's running. As a matter of fact, we do have a candidate that's going to come to our Austin group tomorrow night.
Oh,
just to meet us and find out a little bit more about us. And that's a big part of what we do is we try to connect with them to where they can see that, who we are and what we do and what we're asking for, and kind of get to know us. Because, when someone's on the registry, people judge, and they think everybody's the same and everybody's dangerous and, everybody's scary, and it's not that way at all. It's so very, very different when you meet our members and our families. So, yeah, she's going to come and join us tomorrow night. So we're working around the state, little by little, trying to connect, meet with legislators, talk to people, educate the people, the public, anybody we can. And it's an uphill battle, but it's a battle that's worth it. We have a whole lot of good people out there who, they're tired. They're just worn out of this registry scheme. So anyway,
it is
really
a scheme.
It is. And also just to mention, it's not only, so we are the only organization in Texas that works specifically on this issue. But there are national organizations as well. There are quite a few national organizations, and there are spin-offs from their organizations. So there are state groups, and it's a pretty big thing out here right now. It's a pretty big deal. Whereas when I started 13 years ago, there was nothing. There was one very small national organization just getting started, and then our group, Texas Voices. And now there are groups all over the different states. So it's really interesting. We get to connect with groups from other states and find out what they're doing and what's working for them, what lawsuits they're filing, what they're winning, what they're not winning. So it kind of helps everybody out.
And I think it's very important that people realize that now is the time for the family members and friends to get involved to help organizations.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and we get people that say, well, I work, I have kids, I really can't do much. You know, there's always something, even something small, especially when the legislative session begins, because we need, you know, people to make calls to the office, send an email to their legislator. There's so many just little things that they don't take much time. But if everybody pitched in and just did something, it makes a huge difference.
Okay, how can people get a hold of you, Mary Sue?
We have got, of course, for your family, we've got TexasVoices.org.
Right.
Is our website. But if you'd like to mail us a letter, it's Texas Voices for Reason and Justice, or make it easy on yourself and just put Texas Voices. P.O. Box 23539, San Antonio, Texas, 78223.
Okay, repeat that really quick.
Okay, Texas Voices, P.O. Box 23539, San Antonio, Texas, 78223.
All right. Well, we appreciate all the hard work you put in through the years, and we're looking forward to more progress in the new session, hopefully.
Thank you. You guys say a prayer for us. We could really use that. That's one thing you can do.
We definitely will. Thank you. You have a great holiday season.
Thanks. You do the same. Talk to y'all soon.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. Now we're going to skip on over to Dr. Terri LeClercq. She is the queen of the Prison Show Book Club. And need I say, author of Prison Grievances. You know what? A lot of people need that book.
Can you hear me, Dani?
I sure can. How you doing?
So it's the Dani and David comedy show?
Apparently, yes.
Yeah. Well, it's hilarious that you have Mary on talking about sex offenders, and then Marci on, who's talking about women who've been in prison. These aren't, it's not as funny as it sounds, but I'm so happy you guys can make it lighter than it is, right? The world is a complicated place on the Prison Show. So I am delighted that you guys are having a little bit of a comedy hour. Thank you.
Well, we're trying. Make it, you know, we're bringing the news, but we're keeping it light and fluffy.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned I have a lot to say, but you mentioned there was a meeting today and they discussed the mailroom. Oh my gosh. I have people who are finally, usually, Dani, I get 100 to 150 letters a month, and I respond to them. Since the new policy has gone into effect, I'm getting 11.
What? 11?
Right. 11. The last 2 months I've gotten 11, not 100. And so the ones who do finally write to me say, it took 6 weeks, it took 8 weeks for your letter, the last letter, to get back to me. I'm really sorry it's taken so long. Of course, it's not their fault, right?
Absolutely.
This is not a system. This was not meant to help them or us. Somebody, whoever owns the Dallas system up there, wish it were me, right? Somebody is making a bloody fortune off of TDC and this mailroom disaster. And it's a straight disaster. For instance, on these Christmas cards that I have piled up here, they're going to get the picture of them someday, maybe Thanksgiving or whatever next year. They're going to get a picture of it on their tablet, but they don't get to have the card. They can't put something jolly up in their cell.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Okay. All right. So that was my scream for the moment. Okay. Most of you know that I was arrested for civil disobedience some years ago, and a bunch of my friends were sent to federal prisons for the civil disobedience that was prayerful and silent. And from those people, I learned as an English professor about the prison systems and the conditions, and I couldn't stand it. I wrote a book. It's a comic book. It's a graphic novel called Prison Grievances, When to Write and How to Write. And because of that, I have stumbled into our world, right? I didn't mean to. It's like going into a rabbit hole. But I have been so enriched by this. And tonight, which is my holiday time for you guys, because next week is I'll call in, I think. I want to tell you.
But it's for you too. You can call in next week.
Yeah. I want to tell you, everybody, how much you've enriched my life. Your gratitude, when you write to me, your gratitude, you're so sweet and grateful for the letters, grateful for the shout-outs. I'm grateful to this radio station, to Dani and David, for giving me this opportunity. So there are just so many reasons right now, tonight, to be grateful. Thank you so much. And the second thing that you guys have enriched my life by is the idea of perseverance. You have taught me this strong lesson. If you can keep your chin up 5 years, 10 years, whatever, surely I can keep my little queen chin up when the little something goes wrong with me. I say, wing, 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 I say. And then I think about my correspondents, the people who have a little bit bigger problem than whatever came my way. So I want to thank you for enriching me about perseverance. And then number 3, I want to thank you for reminding me about rules. I'm a real rule follower. My dad was in the service. I'm an academic. I follow the rules. But you have rules you have to put up with within an institution that doesn't follow the rules. What could that be like? You turn in a step 1 and a step 2, and they don't follow their own rules. It's the same way with what's happening now with the mail. So for me, it is a lesson that, I don't know, we have to be grown up enough when they're not. I don't know. But I follow the rules. I hate sending letters to Dallas and having them read them, but I follow the rules because it's the rule. And you guys need to follow the rules. Also, breaking the rule got you there in the first place. So I want you to follow the rules. And remember, I'm having to follow the rules too. Okay, that's it for my preaching. But to all of my correspondents out there in 2023 as we turn around, happy holidays. My entire family hopes that 2024 is your best year ever. May God, Allah, Wiccans, free spirits, whatever, bless each of you, each and every one. Dani, I hope that you have a great holiday. And David, I hope you and Bibi get to dance the night away. Certainly, Jack and I will be.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, probably not quite the kind of dancing you guys will be doing, but we'll manage to waltz across Texas and think about you. So happy season, all of you. Again, I'm so grateful to everyone. Thank you.
Well, you want to leave us an address where people can write to you and tell you how grateful they are for you and your books?
Well, we can try. Can't wait with the mail system.
Yeah, well, you're right. You're right.
You can send it to Terri, Terri, LeClercq, LE, capital CLERCQ. And I know that's hard, but the mailroom at the law school just can figure it out. School of Law, University of Texas, 727 East 27th Street, Austin, 78705. And I'm retired now, but I go up to the law school, I pick up those letters and come back and write them just as soon as I can. I'm not as slow as TDC, but I'm pretty slow. So, do not despair. Have your chin up, know that somebody here is reading about your grievance or is reading about a book you've read. I always love to hear what you're reading. And some of you are keeping track of the books you're reading in your journal and then writing to me about it. Oh, my goodness, that fills my heart with joy. So, write to me, think of me, know that we are thinking of you guys.
You are awesome, Miss Terri, and I hope you can call in this coming Friday. I hope all of our staff members and everyone can call in on Friday.
You know, I didn't even think about it because I didn't want to take everybody's time. But wow.
Now, that's what it's for. We want everybody to call as much as we can. We want the phone to be ringing off the wall.
Ring, ring, ring.
Okay. Okay, ring-a-dingy.
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 Thanks, Miss Terri.
Good night.
Good night. All right. And now we have Miss Marci Marie, social media influencer. How you doing?
Hi, guys. Nice to see y'all.
Nice to see you.
Well, kind of see.
Kinda, sorta.
Right. Well, my TikTok family is here listening with me and enjoying the show. And I've got a few shout-outs from them when we finish our updates and all of that. But they're sending much love, and a lot of them didn't know about y'all's show, so I directed them where they could go listen and see you guys and your Facebook page. So that's pretty cool.
Well, thank you very, very much. We appreciate it. And did you know that they were renaming the Mountain View unit?
No. How did I not know that? This is the first I've heard.
Well, they decided today at the board meeting. This is one of the board meetings that, we can't comment on.
Right.
The Patrick L. O'Donnell unit.
Patrick L. O'Donnell. Well, who was he? Did they say?
My Gloria was up there. And she didn't have her, she couldn't hear. She couldn't really hear. So she knows that that's what they're renaming it. But she doesn't have a timeline on it. So I thought that was interesting, and I wasn't sure if you knew about it.
Yeah, I didn't know about it. I think that they stream those meetings, even though we're not allowed to have public comment. So I need to go to their YouTube page. I just hadn't had time yet this evening, so I'll check that out. But our ladies are going to be really interested to learn that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to check it out over the weekend. Check it out. But what do you got for us this evening?
Well, we have a couple things going on. First of all, it's like a major reminder about the Sunset Review, and I know you guys have been talking about it, but just want to encourage folks, if people that are not incarcerated are listening and want training, they can go to our Linus page on Facebook or YouTube. And if you go to any of my social medias, it'll connect you there. But there's some training, like maybe if you want to know how to submit comment, that's there available for you guys. But for those of you that maybe haven't heard what Sunset Review is, it's an agency that is going to basically audit the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. And they only do that like every 10 years. It's hardly ever. So it's important for us to get our comment in, and they're not used to what they're going to get this year, because I just have no doubt that people are going to come out in full force because we're tired. We're tired of some of the things that are going on in there. So.
Absolutely. And do you have that address on you?
No, but I'll look it up, and in just a minute I'll have it for you. And while I'm doing that, I can tell you guys that I don't know if y'all know what the Time Done movement is, and it's a movement that started in California, and now it's in 9 states, and it just moved here to Texas. So we're going to be starting. I'm a part of that movement, and it's basically for record expungement legislation, right? And so What does that mean? That just means hopefully that we can get a lot of people activated in Texas. And all of that's really new. So I don't have just like a whole lot of information or exactly what about it, but I'm excited about it. I know that 77 million people in this country are affected with a criminal record, and there are like 45,000 barriers and everything from employment to education and 44,000 things in between when it comes to that. So, it's just important. It's an important movement, and they're making big moves in California. And I know Texas, we have a little higher of a mountain to climb in that area, but I'm excited that they're here, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So I definitely encourage everybody to look at that.
How can other people get involved in that?
So you can go, there's a Facebook group called #TimeDone, and I would start there.
Excellent. #TimeDone. I can put that on the Prison Show's Facebook.
Yes, please.
That is
absolutely
excellent.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that and excited to see what comes of it for sure. So I'm kind of trying to look at for this website, and I know I should have just gone to some of my social media where I already have it, because this website, I have the physical address, but I'm not so sure that's where for the Sunset, is that where you mail?
I think, you know what, I can look it up and give it to everyone, because oddly enough, we had a gentleman who wrote to us and asked us for the address. I forgot what unit he's at, but if I'm not mistaken, it is on, here it is. It's on TDC's page, so I can get it.
That was smart. See, I went to the Sunset Advisory page, but that's perfect. And shout out to the guy inside wanting to make public comment, because they can. Incarcerated people can write them and make public comment on this and put their input in, and they're not used to that, guys. We're going to blow them out of the water this round. So I'm excited for that.
Absolutely.
I have some good news on the Lioness end of things. So Lioness Justice Impacted Women's Alliance, we're an organization made up of formerly and currently incarcerated girls, women in Texas, and we did partnered with a few other organizations, Girls Empowerment Network, Finish the 5 campaign, Texas After Violence Project, and we were able to get greeting cards into every incarcerated youth in TJJD into their hands. And
wow.
We had the
she got. Well, you know what? While we're waiting for Marci to call back, hopefully she calls back really quick. That Sunset Advisory Commission, that address is attention TDCJ. So you address it Sunset Advisory Commission, attention TDCJ, P.O. Box 13066, Austin, Texas 78711-3066. Again, Sunset Advisory Commission, attention TDCJ, P.O. Box 13066, Austin, Texas 78711-3066. That is the Sunset Advisory Commission's address.
Marci's on there right now.
Okay.
Thanks. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry.
No.
It was a switchboard technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm out here in the sticks, so I use the Wi-Fi calling, so I would have a better connection. So I didn't have to drive into town. Normally, I drive into town to talk to you guys. And so I was worried it had to do with that. So.
Oh, no. But you go ahead. Go ahead with your, what you were saying about Lioness.
Yeah. Yeah, so we were able to get those cards are being hand delivered to the youth. And let me just tell y'all, we didn't just sign a greeting card. We, especially those of us who have done time, were able to really talk and really, I was just, in a lot of my cards, I was saying, hey, I spent 10 holidays, seasons in there, and I know what it is to be homesick, and I know what it is to be in that environment. And I hope that we were just able to send in like some hope and love, and I just hope that they felt encouraged. And I hope that everybody that's listening feels encouraged. I've got about 70 people on TikTok right now listening to the show, and they're all just sending you guys huge love on the inside. They were really excited I was coming on the show tonight. So.
Oh, that's great. And
did you tell them you're on every 6 weeks?
I did. I did, and I sent them to your site and to the Facebook page where they could listen. I directed them, and what I need to do is I need to make sure I have y'all's link on my link tree, and I'll do that when we hang up.
Well, we appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys on TikTok and you guys listening on the show, you can go to my website, marcimarie.com, and that link will be there. Of course, if you're listening to the show, you already know that, right? And Ash Trevino says, we love the prison radio station, and they just love what you're doing, sending encouragement and important information.
Yes.
So
we always try to give important information.
Yeah. So I, on a personal note, I got to go to a fancy gala with Representative Sherman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was an event, the Miles of Freedom event, and Representative Carl Sherman had a table there, and I was really surprised that they invited me. I was really excited. It was, I've been out of prison for about 2.5 years, and I've been to lots of events with formerly incarcerated folks, and that are more casual. I haven't been into anything this fancy, not even my wedding, y'all. So, it was really fancy, but it was a lot of fun, and a lot of people that really are trying to make change in our system, in our criminal legal system, and offer second chances upon release. So that's just really important. So.
Well, Gloria is listening, and she said that the Patrick O'Donnell is an attorney and had been on the prison board until last year. So that is who she wanted to mention. Yeah, the Mountain View will be, and Gloria said a few other. It's Gloria.
and I think I might know Gloria, and if I do, I'm right with her way of thinking right now. But I also just think about some of the names that we have our Texas prisons after that are just filled with oppression and a very dark history of plantation owners and all of that horrible history. In a way, it's fitting that their name would be on a prison because it's just still oppressive, but I just don't know how we're going to change that culture inside of our prison when we're still kind of glorifying some of these public figures by having their name on the very institution where we're trying to hopefully rehabilitate and change people's minds and attitudes and heal people so that they can come home and be the best person that they can be.
Exactly. I totally agree with you, and I know Gloria does too. She just said that the man was a clerk for that fool Clarence Thomas. That's Gloria. I love her. Yes. Love her. Yes. But I totally agree with you. There's no rehabilitation in TDCJ. they just pretty much want to throw away. Especially, I didn't know until David had Nicole with Rusty Diamond on that there wasn't as many educational opportunities for women as there were for men. I did not realize that.
Right. That's a big priority for Lioness, is that we get equitable education for incarcerated women. Just one of the things is higher education. There is no master's program for incarcerated women the way there is for incarcerated men. The options for their actual graduate degrees for men, there's a large variety. For women, it's very limited. I went to prison. I was there for 10 years, and I only got my associate's degree inside of 10 years because I would go, and y'all who've done time, you know how it goes. You fill out your I-60, and you say, hey, I want to be in college, sign me up. And then when it's registration day, you get your little lay-in, and you go up there, and I'd go up there, and it would be the same classes offered that I have already taken time and time again. I couldn't go any further. So that is for sure one of our priorities. We're really working on that. The other thing is that because Lee College handles most of the men's prisons, and most of our ladies are in Gatesville, and that's Central Texas College. Well, Central Texas College was not willing to implement the Pell program. And so that's another huge thing that we've been fighting for. And I'll tell you what, when January registration comes around, they're telling us now just in the past 2 weeks that, yes, they're going to do it. But if they don't, I might be out there in front of their offices live on TikTok and everything else talking about it because those women deserve to get those grants to go to school.
Well, let me know if that happens, because we will put it on the Prison Show's Facebook. It still amazes me that they don't have this. I guess I just assumed that it's like we're in the 60s or something. Exactly.
It's 2023. It's surprising. But the inside of that institution is still behind. And one of my TikTok family here, Deanne, says, because they want to keep us pregnant and barefoot. And it's funny she said that because they actually told one of our steering members, Alexa, when she was trying to get her upper graduate classes, they told her, you don't need that. You're going to go home and find a husband.
Oh, well.
Now, listen, y'all, I have some shout-outs. Don't let me get past my time. I need about 90 seconds to give them all out because my TikTok folks.
Go ahead with your shout.
Okay, Shirley says, sending love to all the ladies in white. Jamie says, shout out to the death row, men and women. Elvis Loving says, shout out to the ladies at Safe P. Christy says, sending prayers to all y'all. Hope y'all are great. Rita says, we love y'all and we're here for y'all. Debbie Tover says, I love you, Bam Bam. Bam Bam's my friend. He's at the Hughes unit right now. The From Inside Out Network is here and listening. They love you and respect you all. Cynthia said, y'all are not forgotten, sending much love and big hugs. Rita says, big ups to everyone surviving your time. Texas Boy says, free Paloma Salazar, which Paloma, I actually did time with her. Amy says, hi to Jeremy. LaShawn says, tell Patrick McAfee hello. Cynthia says hello to her son Jonathan at the Clemens unit. Healthy Healing says prayers for all the guys at the Coalfield unit. And tell, my handwriting. Boogie. Tell Boogie I love him. And then we got a shout out to Lucas in Seg from Ashley. And I think that's it. I want to make sure, because I don't want to miss any of these folks. They've been listening. That's it, guys. That's a good shout out.
Well, we love you, Marci, and we can't wait to have you back on. But next week, we'll have the shout outs for everyone. So your staff, so please call in and give some more shout outs for Christmas.
Absolutely. You guys hear that TikTok? It's open air next week, next Friday night, we can have Christmas shout outs the whole episode. And I'm going to send in a surprise to y'all. You'll see.
All right, make sure they all call 713-526-5738, option number 2.
Option number
Okay, and I'm going to say that number again when we get off so that they'll have it. And one of my moderators, I'm sure, will put it in the chat for them.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you, Marci. You have a great weekend.
Thanks, love y'all so much. Thanks for everything you're doing.
Love you too, and thank you for everything you're doing.
Absolutely. Bye, y'all. Major love to everybody inside.
Bye. All right, now, oh man, she's awesome. She's so great. Okay, now we're going to skip on over to Alli. Hey, Alli, how are you this evening?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
Doing good, doing good.
It has been a while.
Yeah. I guess Abe is on a lay-in or something tonight.
I'm actually en route to Poland right now. So he'll be gone for a couple of weeks, so I'm just filling in tonight.
Oh, that's right. He did mention that he was headed that way. That's awesome. That's great. So what you got for us tonight?
Well, as you know, there's always a lot of stuff happening with the death penalty around the country, but I thought that I would start with just a bit of good news. I would be surprised if Abe did not mention this on his previous appearance, but we have legislation in Ohio and Pennsylvania currently that seeks to repeal the death penalty in both of those states. We've partnered with Pennsylvanians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty for a letter writing campaign. You can go to all of our social media pages and our website. If you're a Pennsylvania resident, we are encouraging you to write directly to your state legislators to support HB 999 or SB 600 that seeks to abolish the death penalty. It passed the House Judiciary Committee in October, I believe. And there is similar legislation right now in Ohio. We have pretty good confidence, and we're certainly very hopeful that this legislation will pass in both of these states. It would be refreshing to see some good news for a change when this work is so hopeless sometimes. So for the Ohio campaign, Ohioans to Stop Executions is the main organization sharing about. So if you're in Ohio or know people who are in Ohio, connect with Ohioans to Stop Executions, reach out to your legislators, ask them to support the legislation. This is not necessarily the legislation yet, but given the execution that recently happened in Oklahoma with Philip Hancock, there was a couple of Oklahoma legislators that had come on to support Hancock in his self-defense claims. These are some of the same legislators that have been really vocal for Richard Glossop, and we are hopeful that, certainly we are sad and upset that Hancock had to die and all these men had to be executed in Oklahoma, but we sincerely hope that this would kind of light a fire under them now to work with us in bringing some real meaningful change to Oklahoma, because we have seen so many problematic cases, potentially innocent people being executed, people who have received clemency recommendations from the Board of Pardon and Paroles, and then were denied by the governor. So that's not necessarily good news, but I do hope that it brings some good news in the coming months and year. The big focus for us recently has been with Kenneth Smith in Alabama. We actually had a press conference yesterday morning because Kenneth Smith's spiritual advisor is suing the state of Alabama. For those that don't know, Alabama is seeking to become the first state to carry out a nitrogen hypoxia execution. And with that execution method, they are planning on using some kind of gas mask. Reverend Dr. Jeff Hood, who is the spiritual advisor for Kenneth Smith, had to sign a waiver. Basically, the state made him sign a waiver that he might be injured during this execution. if gas escapes and he breathes it in, it's really problematic. And so Jeff is suing the state of Alabama because it is a violation of religious freedom for him to potentially risk his life and have to stand several feet away from the person being executed, and he won't be able to anoint them or do last rites as he normally does when he's accompanying people to their death. So Death Penalty Action has a petition for Kenneth Smith. We're working with Project Hope to abolish the death penalty in Alabama. You can find the petition for Kenneth on our website and all of our social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Regarding Alabama, we also have another petition that is especially timely with this nitrogen hypoxia stuff going on, and it is calling for greater transparency in Alabama executions. For those who might not be familiar, there was a series of terribly botched executions in Alabama last year. The first man ultimately was executed, but it took several hours. He appeared to already have been sedated by the time media witnesses came in to view the execution, and he had been poked and sliced open many times to try to establish intravenous access. And so the two men that came after Joe James, Kenneth Smith and Alan Miller, they actually survived because the executions went so terribly wrong. They couldn't find intravenous access. They ran out of time. It was a whole mess. And in that whole process with those botched executions, we have just seen a complete lack of transparency in any regard in Alabama. So our Pull Back the Curtains campaign is seeking transparency in Alabama executions. It is particularly concerning that Alabama is seeking to use this novel execution method when we know that they are not great at carrying out executions to begin with. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen there. We also have a gas chamber petition. Granted, this execution that might go forward in Alabama is not necessarily a gas chamber, but in the wake of the events that have happened in the last century, it is incredibly concerning that states are reverting back to these kinds of methods of execution to kill people. I cannot think of a more horrifying method of execution than being suffocated to death, gassed to death. So those are all of our Alabama related items. We also have a number of executions coming up across the country. I forgot to mention the Kenneth Smith execution is at the end of January. And then we have 2 executions so far scheduled in February. James Ryder in Oklahoma on February 1st, and of course Ivan Cantu there in Texas at the end of February. Both of these cases have significant issues. James Ryder was diagnosed with, I think, schizophrenia spectrum disorder within the last year, and those in Texas are likely familiar with Ivan Cantu's claims of innocence and the problems that come out of his case. We also have a couple executions scheduled in April, one in Oklahoma of Michael Smith, and then Missouri actually just set a new execution date, I believe yesterday, for a man named Brian Dorsey. Information about Brian is still forthcoming. We have petitions for every single person who is scheduled to die in the United States. So all the men that I've mentioned, we have petitions on our website and on our social media pages for all these men, so everybody can take action and raise their voices against these. We also are expecting a couple Mississippi dates to come down the pipeline. Very recently, I want to say within the last week and a half to 2 weeks, we've heard that the Mississippi Attorney General requested execution dates for 2 men, one named Willie Manning and the other Robert Simon. And what's concerning about Mississippi is, unlike the rest of the states that need 21 days notice, 30 days notice, whatever it is, Mississippi only requires a 24-hour notice. So the Attorney General has indicated their intent to execute these two men before the year's end. Not sure if it's actually going to happen, but it can happen. It's certainly possible, and it'll be very sudden. We have petitions for those, and we will begin sharing those soon, just because we don't really know when exactly it's going to come down. There's a bit of news out of Florida also. We haven't heard of Florida in a couple months. They've kind of settled down since their last execution. But there's a man named Leonard Gonzalez, and he, for those not familiar, Florida actually passed two very problematic pieces of legislation earlier in the year that Ron DeSantis signed. One was removing the requirement for a unanimous jury decision. Florida and Alabama are the only two states that do not require a jury to be unanimously in favor of death. In 2016, Florida changed that and required a unanimous jury decision. However, this year, they reversed it, and now you only need 8 out of the 12 juries. So there's a man named Leonard Gonzalez. He is up, I think, for resentencing or a retrial, and the Florida Supreme Court declined to hear the case for barring retroactivity of this law. And then there's another piece of legislation that was passed in Florida that now makes it a capital case. I think it's sexual battery or something. I don't remember the exact name, but they're seeking a death sentence for a man out of Lake County, Florida, for a sex charge. And in 2008, the U.S. Supreme Court, in a case called Louisiana versus Kennedy, barred capital punishment for non-lethal crimes. So it's extremely concerning that we are now in 2023, about to be 2024, and we are starting to see death sentences come down the line for people who never killed anybody else. The last little bit I had, I just wanted to touch on the Texas Coalition to Abolish the Death Penalty's annual report, just to really briefly go over it.
I'm sorry, Alli, but it's out of time. You're out of time tonight.
Oh, no worries.
I am so sorry, but I do understand about the Florida situation with sentencing someone to death with not having any, not having killed anyone for the rape.
Right.
Yeah, that's yeah. All right.
No.
David's glaring at me. All right. Thank you, Alli.
Of course, it was good to be on with you guys tonight.
All right. Have a great weekend. And don't forget to call in next week for the holiday.
Will do.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
All I want for Christmas, can I have my baby back? Pretty, 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 please. Just you and me smoking on the trees, just like it used to be. You and I, eye to eye, come inside my mind.
you're listening to KPFT Houston. Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Team. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped to represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas, obtain parole, and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. More information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, can be found on their website at parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
All right.
My fingers were too fast tonight.
Yeah. Really?
So, I'd like to remind everybody about the Winter Festival tomorrow, and it's over at the Northwest Educational Center. You got the address?
I do have the address. The address is 2910-2910 Anton Drive, Houston, 77092.
And it'll be from 11 to 4. Santa Claus will be there. They have a toy drive. They're going to have a bunch of, I think there's going to be a couple of slabs out there. I'll have my motorcycle out there. There's going to be some critters. I know they were talking about having a 12-foot long snake and some dogs and some monkeys, and then they'll have some food and some hot chocolate and coffee and just a good old time. So bring the kids. It is definitely kid friendly.
So email your family and friends, ladies and gentlemen, and let them know this is a great event to bring the kids. Santa is ready.
And for those of you that don't know, Northwest Educational Center is ex-offender friendly. You can go there and you can get, they said if you mention the prison show, you'll get a free education. There's not even what do they call it, a sign-up fee.
Yeah, there's no sign-up fee, and they'll
get you a grant, they'll get you a scholarship, whatever they need to get your foot in that door to learn how to do barbering and pharmacy, and I don't know what all else they do out there.
There's quite a few things that they offer. Great career choice. I mean,
tomorrow your loved ones can get their haircut for free. So,
oh yeah, there's another benefit there. You can sit on Santa's lap and
ho ho ho
ho ho ho ho ho ho ho ho ho. All right, and just a quick reminder again about our show Friday. Everyone call. Get your people to call. Wish you happy holidays. And I know my biggest fans listening. I know you're out there because you listen every week.
That's why I played that song a while ago. I knew he was listening.
You knew he was listening?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, did I get a letter this week? Anyway, I'll get into it later. Stay tuned for my pole dancing.
Gotta have our pole dancing music.
Yeah. All right. Ann Jeanette is on line 2. Hey, Ann Jeanette, line 2.
Hi, Dani. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I didn't know that you were a pole dancer.
Girl, you should see me. You should see me with my high heels on, girl.
I need to see that. That is so funny, Dani.
I know it's funny. Someone actually wrote that to me. With my pole dancing voice. I'm like, what?
I'm getting a visual. Dani. We need to
the visual.
I hope you guys are having a good night. I wanted to call in to give a shout out to my love, Big Will, at the Polensky unit on Life Row. My love, I love you so very, very much. And I very much enjoyed our time together yesterday and our time together today. You truly take me places far away from here. I'm a wanderlust, and you are my world. I love finding new ways to love you. I love discovering you. I love to love you, and I love so much how much you love me. And I look forward to every day with you. Every day, everything with you, my love. My beautiful baby. Thank you for all that you are and for all that you're not. You have my heart, my love. You have my mind. You have all of me. I got all the ingredients of what you need. God bless you. God bless you, my husband. I love you. Know that I'm loving you because I'm madly in love with you. I'm thinking about you. I'm missing you. And I will see you in our dreams. Pray, my love. Pray, pray, pray. I love you. I want to give a shout out to some of the guys on LIFO, but before I do that, I have to sing Blaine happy birthday. You can join in if you want to, Dani.
Girl. You know what? Maybe we all should.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Blaine. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Many more. Happy birthday, Blaine. Hope you're doing well and you're jamming out to some great music. He has a really great taste in music. He does. God bless you, buddy. Okay, back to my shout-outs. Bubba, Bethel, Mark, Woody, Eric, Devo, and, of course, Kangaroo. Hang in there. And a very special shout-out to the Fat Swag crew on the Polinsky unit. Much love and big, big hugs from Will. Y'all already know what it is. Hug life, his life. My love, you already know where I'm about to be right now. Asleep. So, good night. God bless. You guys drive safe home. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. And I will see you soon, Dani and Linda. You guys have a good night.
You too, girl.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Now we have Captain Tom on line 3.
All right. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. Cowboy Dave and Dani and Linda. Since the upcoming holidays are coming up, Christmas, Christmas Eve, New Year's, let everybody know that there is a suicide hotline open, 988, press 1. And if you're in that particular mood, depression, please contact somebody to help you. Okay, tomorrow is the Reefs Across America, and I'll be out there to help lay reefs for all of our veterans, and also I'm going to be taking care of Dewey as well. And y'all remember Dewey, don't you?
How could we ever forget?
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'll be out there taking care of him tomorrow. And also, I want to give my shout-outs. Arkansas, Juju, Leroy, David Keys, John Armstrong, J.B. Anderson, Clarence Lee Bowman, Pete Sines, George Johnson, John R. Green, Stevie Young, Terrence Carmichael, John Wayne, Mike Dean, Robert Brown, Charlie Lewis, Samuel B. Harris, Robert Harris, Jacob Harold, Peter Torres, Thomas Mitchell, Bob Dunn, Roger Jackson, Bobby Barbara, Charles McKay, Willie Russell, Michael Shelby, Brian Morris, Patrick Lindnick, Ricky Nunn, and also Bobby Joe Harper, and Carlton Lewis. That about wraps it up this week. We'll be calling in next week for the Christmas show. And here's Santa Claus is going to be out tomorrow taking care of 500 kids. I feel sorry for Santa.
Yeah, we were just talking about Santa's lap, and maybe we ought to have a little bit of protection or something.
Yeah, no. All right, everybody. You can still donate to KPFT by going to kpft.org or call 713-526-5738 and press option number 1, or text the word GIVE to 713-526-5738, and make sure you give to the prison show. Okay, everybody, have a good night. Thank you for having me aboard. Y'all take care.
Have a great one. All right, now let's get to Bernadette. Hi, Bernadette.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm lovely, thank you. Mine's going to be short and quick. I just want to send a shout out to the Telford unit, to my stranger. Just want to say that I love you and I miss you, and hopefully I'll hear from you soon. I'm always thinking of you, and I'll talk to you soon. I love you, and always your G. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Bernadette. Have a great weekend. Oh, and she's gone. All right, Caitlin.
This is a shout out for Beto Garza in Polunsky. Hey boo, how are you? I hope that there's a smile on your handsome face and that you're in good health and spirits. As for me, yeah, things are okay. Buddy is doing good, and so is Daytona. It's been pretty, again, some pretty crazy weather here, a lot of wind and rain, but so far today is actually not too bad. I'm going over to my neighbours later on, and we are having a secret Santa. Yeah, so we get just a little get together and we all exchange little gifts with each other. So yeah, it's a fun, I say it'd be fun. Other than that, yeah, pretty much okay. I can't believe how quick the days are going by. Yeah, it just seems to be going back so quickly. Well, I want you to know that you're in my heart, thoughts and prayers, and I want to thank you for being here for me, and that I'm sending you big hugs and kisses. So good night, sweet dreams, and please stay safe. And to everybody at the prison show, a big thank you for making this happen.
All right. Let's go to Jenn on line 5. How you doing, Jenn? Hello, Jenn. All right, maybe
we go to somebody else and figure out what's up with Jenn.
Yeah, let's go to Shirley on line. Okay, Karina on line. Hi, Karina.
Hi, good night. How are you guys?
Doing good. How are you?
I am doing pretty good. I just want to send a quick shout out to Facundo Chavez. Baby, just wanted to let you know that I love you and you stay in my mind and my heart. And Devaney wants to also say hi. Give me 1 second. Hi, Facundo. I just wanted to let you know that I hope you're being safe and I hope you're having a good day. And I can't wait to hear from you again. And thank you guys for this great show. Thank you for having it.
Well, thank you for calling in, and make sure you call in next Friday for our holiday show.
I sure will, and I will wish y'all next week a Merry Christmas as well.
All right, great. Same to you.
Thank you, guys, and hopefully here soon I get to meet you and David as well, and I would like to talk to y'all here soon about some ideas that I have, but not until I go down there.
Oh, that sounds great. We can't wait to meet you.
Yes, of course. And Facundo, I love you. Please don't forget how much I love you. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a blessed night and a great weekend as well.
All right, great. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Shirley. Hey, Shirley.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. How are you doing? Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. I'm going to call and say shout out to Blaine. I love you, Blaine, and I did look that up, and I got the phone number that you wanted me to do. But I love you with all my heart, and you hold your head up and pray as we all do. And I pray for everybody else back there, too. So I love you and love you. Keep your head up, okay? Sweet dreams. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Miss Shirley. Okay, now we have Mike.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike doing his shout-outs for the prison show. Here's my shout-outs to Guy for Texas, Guy Alexander, Jamie Cuppett, Stephen Russell, Stephen McGee. Shout-out for Philip Perez. Lucy and Michelle want me to do a shout-out for Paul. Shout-out for Jovan. Shout-out for Matt. Shout-out for Thomas. Shout-out for Oz. Shout-out for Edward Reeves, Adam Wilkerson. Shout-out for Hoss. Tasha wants me to do a shout-out for Payday. And here's a shout-out for Bill R. Sims and Clarence Lee Bowman. Hopefully you're doing much better. Raymond Lee Cart. You can continue to write in care of David Collingsworth for Mysterious Mike Lewis, and I'll write back. And I want to wish everybody a happy winter solstice. It's coming up on the 21st of December, the first day of winter. Burr. And now back to the prison show.
Okay. Lydia, line 2. Lydia, how you doing?
Yes, I'm doing fine. How about you?
Doing good. Doing good.
Okay, that's good. Here watching the weather. It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend. Yeah.
I know, I can't wait.
Yeah. Shout outs from my son, Beto. Just, I'm glad you got to speak to Mariano, mijo, because you just never know when he's going to leave. But him and Tia Rosa are going to Progreso in the morning. Early, I doubt they'll invite me, but maybe if they invite me, I'll go with them, but I don't know. But that's about it. I think Tia Patty's leaving in the morning for Houston, and I'm sure Tia Gracie's still up there herself. I didn't talk to her today, mijo. I didn't have a chance. And I'll order those products in the morning sometime. I'll order them tomorrow. But that's about all, mijo. I don't think I spoke with Tia early today, or I might have. I just don't recall. But we're good. Love you and miss you, and my hellos to all the guys. And waiting for Christmas. Like everyone else. Talk to you tomorrow, mijo. Love you. Miss you. Take care. Saludos to all the guys. You know who you are. And big shout out to everyone. Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night, Linda. Dani.
Good night, Lydia. Make sure you call in next week for the holiday show.
What time is it? Tomorrow, next week.
9 to 11, the same time as the show is.
The same time Friday?
Right, but we're going to do the whole show from 9 to 11.
From 9 to 11, okay. Don't bueno, we will. We'll call in Friday, God willing. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, do you want to try Jenn again? Hey, Jenn. I don't think she's there.
A lot of times whenever I text her for a shout-out, her loved one had called her from the unit. So I'm wondering if maybe she didn't get a phone call right in the middle of holding on for us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that's it.
It's kind of funny that she's not there. Funny, not haha, but funny, strange, because we played her Christmas song.
I know.
So she was going to talk about her Christmas song and want everybody to know that we played her Christmas song. So I posted her video on the Facebook page earlier.
Should I hang up?
Yeah, I think we'll probably hang up and she can call back.
So a few things before we get to all of our shout outs, which I know Manuela is going to have a good one. So today, Gloria and Ward went to the board meeting. Now, as you know, no one could do comments, but we could, as I was informed, approach certain people at the end of the meeting. So what we know is that a few things. It doesn't look like they want to take anybody. They call them prisoners. We call them incarcerated individuals. They no longer want to take incarcerated individuals again to say they have a court date in the county. They do not want to take them, transport them anymore. They want to do a virtual court date. So there's a pilot program. I think they're calling it pilot, but I think that they're going to start doing it across the board. I think Harris County does quite a few of them, but anyway, they're talking about starting that across the board. Spiritual advisors, this is for death row. Spiritual advisors will have to be on the visitation list, they will have to have an ongoing relationship with the man or the woman. So they can't come in, last minute and become the spiritual advisor. They have to have a relationship, a spiritual relationship with them previously. How long, we don't know. They couldn't really get a lot of information from them. So I'm not saying don't put words in my mouth. This is all. This is all I know. Gloria also mentioned that you don't have to, or they're going towards, you do not have to be on the visitation list to witness, which she used an example when one of the men had a close friend who was 90, and he did not believe that she would do well during the execution, so he wanted to add Gloria to the witness list, and they turned her down. Well, now that will not be an issue, because you will not have to be on the visitation list. They're also, but all of this can be seen on the video. You can go to the video. I haven't gone to the video yet. Just heads up, I haven't gone.
And it's on the TDCJ website?
The YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube website. Nonprofits, they're also...
you hung up on her?
Yes.
Okay, so the board is not happy with the way Securus is treating or doing their job, because they're not doing their job, as we all know. Like Dr. Terri LeClercq was saying, they're not doing their job. So anyway, they're relaxing some of the rules and regulations. Now, as we've said previously, the people that have abused the privilege of getting a handwritten letter in the past and pretty much ruined it for everyone else, they need to, don't ruin everything for everyone. Yeah. Come on now. And what was another thing? I mentioned something else at dinner. Anyway, do you want to do your shout out? Do your shout out, girl. Yeah. Come on, do it.
I want to make my shout out to my sweet and precious husband, Robert Robertson, on Texas Death Row, Polanski Unit. Hi, baby. I do hope and pray that you are well, that you are all right. and that you are in a good mood. I want you to know that I'm always thinking about you, and you are always on my mind, in my heart, and in my prayers, baby. I miss you so much, and I'm thinking about our visit yesterday, and I do hope and pray, baby, that everything will be all right with our sweet and precious son. Robert had surgery today and had an upper GI test done today. He is not hurting as much and not in pain as much either. He had the abscess on his pancreas drained too. That's what our daughter Victoria told me. And I want you to know this, baby, so you can calm down. I will keep you updated about everything I know. And please don't worry and don't be concerned. We will do everything we can do to help our baby son, okay? I love you, my love, always and forever. You are my always and forever, my one and only big, big, great love of my life. I will never lose you, and I will never leave you, baby, and never stop loving you. Good night, baby. Sweet and blessed dreams to you. I need you. Good night.
Whew. Well, I'm glad that your son is doing better. That's good. All right, Jenn. Well, Hey, Jenn, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Sorry, I put myself on mute this time.
I was like, oh no, not again.
Oh no, we just had a little technical difficulties, and I've just been a busy little elf, and so I was like, okay, I'll just check back in later. But I do thank y'all for spinning my song, my Christmas Cry. Everyone can find me at It's Jenn's Music on all platforms, anywhere. But besides that, I just want to call in, give a shout out, and thank y'all for doing that for me. I know y'all do that every year. But I do want to say, hey, Anthony from Polinsky Unit, if you're listening, keep your head up. I do still think about you. And Stephen, I know you're out there on the wind unit. I have a lot of family everywhere, but hopefully you're tuning in, that you got to hear my song and everyone else got to hear my song. And then to my husband, he can't hear the radio station. He's too far out. He's way in the Dallas area. But regardless, he knows that I love him. And I actually wrote that song for him when he left 2 years ago last Christmas to go serve his time. So it's something very dear to me. And the finished complete of it, because everyone wanted me to make it longer, will come very, very soon, and then with another one next year. So y'all stay tuned. I got more music coming out, and maybe one day I'll get to go up there, do something with the show. And thank y'all. Merry Christmas, and have a blessed night.
We can't wait to meet you. Sounds good. And you have a great night and a great weekend, Jenn.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, now we have Gloria. Hey, Gloria, you're going to... Come on. Give it to us.
Yay.
I tell you, that prison board, I felt like I was in Nazi Germany today. The thing is, they have the 2 board meetings a year where the public can talk, April and August. But the other meetings, you can talk only to agenda items, except that they don't tell you what the items are. So that was very frustrating today. I filled out 3 cards to speak, one on execution witnesses, but I didn't know what they were going to propose. And then I filled out another card Oh, I don't remember. I'm so tired. I got up early today. Anyway, but so when they called me up 3 different times, I said, well, it would be nice if I could see or had been able to look at what you were proposing so I could make an intelligent comment. But unfortunately, you don't want the public to know what you're doing. Anyway.
Of course not.
No. And then the chair, the guy that got for a chair now is actually nice. I don't know. Somebody forgot to tell him he was supposed to be rude like they've been for the last 20 years that I've been going.
You're right about that.
Oh, Lord. But anyway, I want to give a shout out to my adopted son, Spider. How you doing? Ward and I did get up at the crack of dawn. I met him on the freeway at 7:45 this morning. So it was a long day. The best part of the day was going to a place called the Fish Pond, which is on Highway 79 when you leave Huntsville to come back to Houston. And I had a big old fish platter with oysters and a stuffed crab and shrimp and catfish.
I love that place. It's it's on 75.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that place.
I had only been there once before, but Ward apparently uses 75 to get to Huntsville for executions or whatever. So that was much better than the board meeting. But anyway, the place was packed. I got to stand up and clap. Well, I didn't stand up, but I tried to clap for the people that put the fire out at the Walls unit. I wanted to ask them if what they'd done with the execution drugs, but I didn't. Anyway, so Spider, I will see you next Thursday. And Thomas Millerell, I don't know if you got my last message, but apparently I didn't send you all the information you need to put me on your visitation list. I didn't give you my middle name, and you've got to have whatever's on my driver's license. So my middle name is Irene, and I didn't tell you how old I was. I just gave you my date of birth. And if you're like me, I probably couldn't figure it out from a date of birth. So anyway, I'm 77. And let me know what else you need. And I look forward to seeing you soon. So I guess that's it. I'm exhausted. You got to sign up to speak on an agenda item 20 minutes before they start their meeting. And we got there early enough, but then we had to sit through the Wyndham School District, boring stuff, and some committees, money they're going to spend to repair this and repair that. They didn't start the doggone meeting of the board until after 11. I'm like, God, I could have slept another couple of hours. But anyway, now, you know one thing, Dani, that is interesting, and I bet you it would is KPFT a nonprofit?
Yes, it is.
Well, one of the changes in inmate correspondence was that nonprofits can mail directly to the unit.
Yeah, remember, we're being very careful about that, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I asked, apparently the chair sent Jason Clark and some woman who mumbled through all these changes that were being proposed over to talk to Ward and I. But Jason Clark didn't introduce himself, so after we talked for a while, I'm like, who are you anyway? And when he said, He said, I'm Jason Clark. I'm the one you're always yelling at on your megaphone.
Yes, you are, Gloria.
I said, well, now I've got a face to put with your name, dude.
Well, we have another caller, Gloria,
Okay,
so
yeah.
I will chat at you later.
Okie doke.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh. Okay. Well, while we wait for the other caller, there was a piece that ran in the Houston Chronicle. Shoddy work from Houston lawyers, judges jeopardizes justice in death penalty cases. Study reveals. So, guys, if you want that information, that little article, well, it's not little, it's pretty big. Shoddy work from Houston lawyers, judges jeopardizes justice in death penalty cases, study reveals. I also have prosecutors accuse Harris County judge of taking too long in deciding death row inmates' intellectual disability claim. So there's another one of the judges taking too long. We had that previously. And I have the top 10 bizarre contraband stories of 2023. And let me tell you, when I say that there's a pair of scissors David's laughing at me because I was like,
I was telling her whenever I was at the Gib Lewis unit, we had the gator pit. And we were never, I wasn't surprised about the scissors because of all the stuff I saw in the gator pit.
Yeah, I'm not understanding why anybody would put that.
Because it's their safe.
I know what a safe is, and I know, but a pair of scissors that big.
They could get an escape charge or something. That's why they had to hide it.
Well, something could get punctured up in there.
They wanted to keep the scissors. They wanted to keep the scissors safe.
All up in there. All right, Freddie on line 1.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Let me shout out my friends and my brother, Dudley, with the pack unit. And all you guys there, man, Sam, Boston, Green, Field, everybody. What can I say, guys? Just keep your head up, man, and plan for better things, better life. Rethink your thoughts and make some goals, man. Make some goals for yourself. I'm over here doing pretty good. I'll go back to work pretty soon. I got a desk duty, light duty job. I just come out of this injury. I'm still hurting, but I can't operate a forklift for a while. So I'll be doing desk work. And I guess the 22nd I'm going to do a prison show. So I'll be on the line, or I'll be over there helping David. So y'all keep y'all's head up, guys, and God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Amen.
Amen. Thanks.
That's about it. Yeah, that's about it. I get back on light duty if they let me.
It's good to hear you. I know you've been doing really bad.
Yeah, I've been on all this medication, and today I got some more medication, so I'll probably be asleep again pretty early.
Yeah, I weaned myself off my medication. The doctor asked me why I don't take it, and I said because I don't need it.
I need to do the same thing, man, but I don't got used to it, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay. I'll let it go.
Yeah, well, take it if you need it, but if you don't need it, throw it in the trash.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've been doing that all my life. I only take what I need when I need it.
Yep. So how's married life treating you?
Pretty good, man. Doing what I wanted to do. One of my goals: sit down and chill, get out the way.
Yeah, that's a good goal.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she's got a whole list of honeydews.
Oh my God! But I can't do them because I'm on light duty.
Oh yeah. That's the same way I am. Oh, I can't do it. I'm right-handed.
I'm gonna get on the treadmill starting tomorrow, man, and get myself ready to get out there again if I can. Body says no, but mine says you can.
Yep. Well, thanks for calling in, Freddie. We really appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Hey, by the way, I know it ain't fundraising time, but I went ahead and donated my $25 a little while ago.
Well, it kind of is fundraising time. It's what we call the silent drive right now.
Yeah, the silent drive. But we're there, man. We're there. So anybody that feels like giving, man, it's Christmas. Them guys need to hear our voice out there once in a while. And I love you, Dudley. Hang in there, brother. All right, Dave. See you later.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, we hadn't really talked about the silent drive because we hadn't been trying to hit them between the eyes with pledge drive, but we are in silent drive right now until the end of the year. And we've had a few pledges, and we thank you guys for calling in. And it's the same number. It's 713-526-5738, except you go to option number 1. And it's a good time of year to be able to get your pledge in so that you can get it on your taxes. So, and we know that it's Christmas time, so it's hard for everybody, but if you've got a little bit extra, then the Prison Show would thank you, and we'd really appreciate it. So, I don't know what else you got, but I'd like to talk about Dan the Man's letter.
Okay. Linda and I still have shout-outs, but that's fine. Yeah, Dan the Man, go ahead.
We still got time. It's only 10:41. But, every week Mike makes shout-outs to Philip, and I know you guys for years, Philip's called in, and Linda and I, we've all been trying to get a hold of Philip to figure out what's going on. Well, I got a letter from Dan the Man, and he said that Philip was going out the house and slipped and fell on the porch and bumped his head and wouldn't go to the hospital. So he ended up going back inside and sitting down in the chair and passing away. So those of you that have kept up with the Prison Show for many, many years, you know who I'm talking about. And Philip, we miss you, and we hope that you and Ray are up there having a good laugh right now.
Prison Show.
So thanks for letting us know, Dan. And we're still here for you, brother. So you hang in there.
Yes, what's your name?
You want to go ahead and make your shout-outs?
Carmela. Okay, I'll put you on hold.
No, we can do Carmela.
Okay.
Carmela on line 1. Carmela? Hi, Carmela. Carmela? Hey, y'all, I don't think Carmela's on there. Yeah, she just called too. I don't know what happened in, but yeah, I don't know what was going on. Anyway, so okay, now I think she's here. Okay, Carmela? Carmela? Carmela?
Whenever I picked it up, she was hitting the buttons with her face. I think she's holding the mute button or something.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not... Well, let me remind y'all about the toy drive tomorrow. I think they're calling it the Winter Wonderland. Tomorrow, December the 16th, starting at 11 o'clock, 2910 Anton Drive, Houston 77092. So that's starting tomorrow at 11, and that's at the Northwest Educational Center. And Linda, do you want to do your shout outs?
Yeah, but I don't have them with me tonight because I've been gone all week and I never went back home to get my list. So I'm just going to say I had to meet with Stephen Russell's the federal board today for his release, and everything looks good. They came in and examined the house, made sure that he had room to live there and everything, which he does. And so now we're just waiting on an answer whether they're going to approve him to come live with us or not. But it looks good. So anyway, he said tell everybody hi, and hopefully he'll be out soon, and he'll be able to talk to all you guys. And anybody who wants to get in contact with him, you can call my house. Okay, thank you guys. And and then William Owens, I forgot my list, and so I'm just saying hello to you, and I will talk to you guys on the Christmas show. Okay, good night, guys. Bye.
All right, now we have Carmela. Carmela?
You know?
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead.
It must be my phone connection. I'm sorry for the confusion. I'd like to say hello to my nephew, Bradley Leland Aiken. He's in Dallas somewhere. I just want to let him know that, Bradley, I love you. I have never stopped loving you, and I'm thinking of you extra special this year. I just hope you're doing okay, staying warm, and doing what you need to do. I just love you, and I hope you have a good holiday season. I know it's tough, but at least you're alive and still doing what you need to do. You have a good week. I'll call in next week, a special week where everybody can call in the whole show. So I love you, and you have a good week, and take care. Thank you, Prison Show. You guys have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. All right. Now I'm going to do my shout-outs. Okay. Roderick Harris, Jeff, Britt Rapowski, Farron, Paul DeVoe, Creeper, T, hey T, Big Head, Blaine, Birthday Boy, Blaine, Rue, Moy, Leroy, Larry, J Van Story. Hey, try to call me tomorrow, please. Rexalicious. And Rusty over at the Estelle unit. Great big hello to you. And David did get a letter with some grievances that said these are not grievances on that. I was like, what? Anyway, I'm going to, I have them in my purse, and I will answer you. They're in my purse, which is across the room, or I would know your name. But I'm pretty sure that, I can't remember his name. Mike, you wrote to him from, I believe, the Terrell unit. And anyway, I will get back with you over the weekend. And a reminder again about the toy drive, or the toy. I was thinking about Dragon Joy over there, but the minute you said snake, I'm like, nope, ain't happening. I will.
What about the monkeys?
Monkey. Yeah, I love me some monkeys, but you know, the minute he said steak, I'm like, nope. And you know what? Since my new biggest fan, Jeff was my biggest fan. He was my number one biggest fan, but now,
I thought his name was something else.
But now there's competition.
That other guy we were talking about earlier, wasn't his name Freddie? Lampkin or Lumpkin or?
That's it. Yep. So no, he's not my biggest fan. No.
He was all our biggest fan for a long time.
He was for a while. Now I have somebody who listens to me every week, critiques my every breathing habit, clearly thinks I pole dance when it's not happening. Nowhere's that happening. And you know, who insulted Ray Hill. Now, you may have a lot to say about someone being gay. You may disapprove of that. But you know, Mr. Ray Hill, when other people look down on incarcerated people, Ray Hill brought people together to make them fight for change. You know what? I don't see, why would you look down upon anyone who would try to lift you up with help?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Because you are a downer. But you know what? I refuse to look down like you do. I consider you my biggest fan because you listen to me every week, Bill Sims. Every week you listen to me and you adore me. So thank you. Thank you. I spread the joy. And Nadine is on line 1. I love Nadine. I miss you. How you, Nadine?
Hello, Dani. I miss you all.
We miss you too,
well,
baby. Hi.
So sad to be back, but that's life. I would like to send a shout out to my husband, Eugene Broxton, in the Polonsky unit. Hi, Boo. I am so happy that I just get up, you know, to make a phone call. I just wake up and everything is fine, you know. I'm back at home. So sad to be here and not to be next to you, but I just finally get some letters from you. I'm happy you are back there. I can watch you, and I want to send you my love. I miss you so much, Eugene. You have no idea how much I can miss you. And I want to send a big hug to my brother-in-law, to you, Big White. I miss you too. It was so nice to see you on last Saturday. I was with you. And that's it. I want to send my love to all of you. And I know, Eugene, you don't want me to be back. You know, I know, I understand. But I'm trying my best to be back on the 14th of January. Okay? I love you all, and thank you for the radio. And send you all my love again, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye, Nadine.
Bye-bye, Nadine.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, yes, I have my sister. Ciao, Manuela.
Ciao, baby.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, now we have Patricia.
Hey, this shout-out is from Humberto Huerta. Hey, mijo, Tia Patty, I hope you're still listening. I'm going to be going up to Houston in the morning. will stay with Amanda, of course. I'll have my appointment on Monday and then drive back. Hopefully everything will go okay, mijito. I fixed my car. Hopefully it's fixed. I hope que no batalla, right? Anyway, mijito, I love you and miss you. Your Tío Junior gonna watch Max, of course. It's raining here right now. It started to rain, so Max came inside. I love you, mijo. Thank you guys for making this happen.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
Patricia. All right, David. You ready?
Is that my cue?
That's your cue.
You know, it's been a good show, even if we did have a few technical issues. You know, it trips me out over the... So was Mountain View, was it having to do with some kind of slavery or plantation, or how did they name it Mountain View?
I don't know.
I wonder why they just decided to change it. Yeah, it's on a mountain. I mean,
yeah.
I don't understand how that's racist or anything.
I don't think it is. I
They
just
just
think
wanted to honor this
person.
Yeah.
He clerked for Clarence Thomas, so I guess they figure he's...
But out of the blue, they just picked that one unit just to rename?
I guess.
I mean, I understand why they renaming a lot of the other units, but I mean, there's still some more units that they need to rename because of the degradation that they portray.
Absolutely. I don't know why they picked this one.
It's kind of weird, but anyway, I mean, it's TDCJ.
Welcome to TDCJ.
That's so funny. So anyway, we got Cnvrge coming up, and I know I got a couple of minutes here, but you know, Cnvrge started out in the colleges, and they just some techno music, some funky stuff, and Dani teases me because I've actually listened to him, and believe it or not, I listened to him last week on the ride home.
Oh my!
So, it's different, you know, and then you can get into the funky stuff. You have to have an open mind.
Do you dance?
I do. I was riding the bike last week, so I was kind of... I wasn't twerking or nothing, but you know.
Twerking?
I said I wasn't.
Oh, because I was going to say pole dancing.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get into it, right? So, y'all stay tuned for Cnvrge. I mean, they're two really good dudes, and maybe their music's just different, but once you get in to listen to it, it's got a good beat, and you'll be bebopping right along with it, so... Y'all have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend.
And remember, next week is all shout-outs, so y'all get prepared.
Tell your loved ones. All shout-outs.